watching the brat. ChesaTheBrat, yeah. Get a subscriber tab. ChesaTheBrat. Turn around.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, girl, what are you doing? Literally, what are you doing? I don't know if you haven't already heard, but if you subscribe to me, you get a fatter ass, you get a bigger bank, you get that nigga you was plotting on. Yeah. I told you guys last time I wasn't doing my lashes and all that because I was sick. I don't feel sick anymore, y'all, and it went away. So we're all good now. The reason I don't have lashes on is because I low-key was editing my video from when I was sick, and I kind of liked how I looked, y'all. It was kind of tea. It was kind of tea. And I also have no products in my hair again because that was kind of tea too. So yeah, but we got the nails on. So I do want to let you guys know yet again, if you guys don't already know, about my Patreon. I'm gonna pop it up right here on the screen. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's basically just another platform where I can make content and talk about things that are not really suitable to talk about on here. And the content I do on there isn't gonna be super different than the content that I do on here, but it's gonna be more uncut, more raw, and just a little bit more juicy. My first video is gonna be going up very, very soon. We are getting close to 100 seats being filled. I only have 100 seats open for the subscription where you get to see all the juicy content. We are at 47 seats, I think, right now. So like I said before, I'm going to be lowering the price and I'm going to be opening more seats in the future, but just for right now, as I become familiar with Patreon, it is how it's set up right now. Go ahead and go secure your ticket, go secure your seat, go get your seat, girl, because somebody else might get your seat and then you gonna be asked out with no seat. So definitely go subscribe to the Patreon. I love you guys so much. Definitely follow me on Instagram at ChesaLaMorena. Follow me on TikTok. I got my old TikTok back, Chesa Kiana, and then follow my new one at Chesa Morena. I'm going to be making content on both. I am going to go ahead and give you guys a couple subscribers promos. The first one we have is Eli Productions Co., which is an all-black female-led nonprofit that creates stunning short films, microfilms, and film series, and just dropped a project called In This Shade for Black History Month. So definitely go ahead and go support. I'm going to put the page up on the screen right here. Let her know Chesa sent you. The next one is Chats with E. This is a YouTube channel. They do story times, vlogs, and more. They're shooting to post their first video on March 14th. So stay tuned and be the first to watch. Turn on post notifications. Let them know Chesa sent you. This one is just a TikTok page. She just wants some more traffic to her TikTok. She's very cute. Definitely go follow her, support, tell her Chesa sent you. The next one is a YouTuber. This is a YouTube gamer called Thick Gamer 22 period. I know that's right. I see Fortnite content on there, which you guys know I love Fortnite, so definitely go subscribe, tell her Chesa sent you. And the last one for this video is going to be a Depop account. If you guys are into plushies and clothes and stuff like that, she also makes handmade items and custom items and things like that. I'm gonna be putting the Depop up on the screen. This is also the current plushie that she's working on that's not being sold just yet, but will be on the Depop. Story_creations. Definitely go shop and tell her Chesa sent you. Mwah. All right, y'all. This story time is going to be a little crazy. I know some of you guys are probably clocking my tea. Like, if you're an OG, then you know a little bit about me. Then you probably know that I've told you guys that I do like girls. I am bisexual. However, I never was in a relationship with a girl, like was in a serious situation with a girl or anything like that. But I've had situations, or I don't know if you want to call it a situationship, or, you know, I've with girls. I just never popped out in a relationship with one before. So this is also not technically the first situation I ever had with a girl, because truth be told, y'all, I kissed a girl before I kissed a boy. So y'all are gonna get a whole series of videos about just my situations with girls. I have a bunch of crazy ones. I have some juicy ones. Patreon is probably gonna see the juicy ones, but this is just my introduction video to the series of hearing about Chesa and her tea with the because I haven't popped out with none of that yet with y'all. So this is what this is. These are the story times where I kind of ain't for real. Like, y'all know the story time where I told y'all I went on that date. I mean, he was wrong in the video. Like, he was wrong, but like, if I'm being real, I should not have been even entertaining anybody for real, because I knew that I wasn't emotionally available. I really wasn't available at all, for real. But I just wanted to entertain people. And you know, when you're going through a breakup, or you after a breakup, or like you know, sad and you just want some attention for real, you just gonna do what you gotta do for real.
Okay.
And it's not that I would lie and tell these people that I was emotionally available or anything like that, which y'all are gonna see. This is why in this story time, some of y'all gonna be like, well, Chesa, you shouldn't have did that or you shouldn't have said this. But overall, this is wrong, okay? And it's because if you are honest with somebody about your intentions and they know what's up with you and you already made clear what you want and don't want, then I feel like there's just certain shit that cannot be.
Let me just get into the story time, y'all.
If y'all thought niggas ain't shit,
They ain't.
let's be real, niggas ain't shit.
Amen.
But bitches ain't shit too, like,
Or either.
bitches ain't shit either. Let's start there. I want to say this story time took place a couple years ago. I'm not really going to timestamp it because I really don't know and I really don't care. But again, this was when me and my boo were not together and a couple years back. And I don't know if you guys remember, like, when I be like stamping the time of where I wasn't really active on YouTube or I wasn't really, you know, making a lot of videos and I was going through it and this and that. It's really hard, I'm sure, for you guys to kind of pinpoint when in my life this was, because there's a lot of situations where I go in these funks and I don't make videos. Like, I have these phases pretty much every year. So I don't really know exactly when this was, but I know that this was when I was living in that luxury apartment that you guys saw me in. I think y'all saw maybe 2 videos of me in that apartment because I literally was not making videos for real. I'm pretty sure there's been videos where you guys have been like, oh, I can tell your energy is off, and it's when I'm coming out of a funk or I'm going into one. But when I'm fully in a funk, y'all will not see me on here, but y'all will see me on TikTok though. So around this time, I was definitely making a lot of TikToks. I was at a point where I was like, I'm not feeling good mentally, but I look good. And that's probably why I was at my goal weight, because I
wasn't eating.
I was literally like depressed and probably eating 1 meal a day. So that's why I was at my goal weight. So really I should evaluate that. I was definitely trying to be one of them girls that can just post a little TikTok looking cute, lip syncing some bullshit and it go viral. Like, I was really trying to meet the TikTok's gods and the TikTok gods and the TikTok judges standards. You know what I'm saying? It's a real tough crowd over there in TikTok. Like, I don't know, I be saying I'm shadow banned because I really feel like I am, but y'all, maybe it's just, you gotta just be a certain amount of tea to just go viral over there. Like, you really have to, I don't know, like, people be saying it's easier to go viral on TikTok. I don't know about that, baby, because I be making some videos and I be like, oh yeah, that's the one, and then it gets stuck at 100 to 200 views, 10 likes, 50 likes, you get what I'm saying? But I'm grateful. I was being toxic and I would get cute and I would post because I wanted my ex at the time, my boo now, I wanted my ex to see me and be like, oh, she not even worrying about me, she look good, like, you know what I'm saying? Make it look like I'm about to go somewhere, make it look like I'm about to go outside. I'll get cute as just to go to Walmart, post up like I'm finna go outside with the like,
just to go back in my bed and cry.
That was literally me. But like I said, I was posting a bunch of TikToks, right? So one random day, I really don't know what I was doing, where I was probably home. I went on my TikTok and I was looking through my notifications and I had seen a TikTok comment and it was something like, you're the most beautiful girl on this app. It was something like that. And granted, I have the best supporters in the world. You guys love me down. If y'all see a video of me, even if it's not viral, most of my TikTok videos will have at least one comment of my supporters just saying the sweetest thing to me, whether it's, oh, you're my favorite YouTuber, oh, I love you, or you'll be gassing your girl, like, you'll be gassing me down, like,
oh, you such a bad. It's like, oh, the baddest to ever do it.
And it's like, baby, you know I'm not the baddest to ever do it, but I love you for thinking that. Like,
I love you for thinking that.
But I'm thinking this comment that I saw was just one of my supporters, because again, y'all be saying the cutest shit. So I hearted it because, I mean, I'm not just gonna see a comment and not reply or heart it. Y'all know, even on YouTube, I try my best, especially for the first couple days a new video is up, to like and or respond to stuff that needs to be responded to, heart you guys, show you guys love, make sure you know I seen your comment and that I'm showing it love. You know what I'm saying? I try to be super active with that. I DM y'all back on Instagram. I'm not one of those that'll post some shit and then never respond to the people in the comments. Like, I'm not Hollywood, I'm not a celebrity, it's never that. So I hearted it, right? But I didn't say nothing. Y'all ever post a video of yourself or a picture and you look at it long enough, or you start staring at the picture to the point where you start morphing into the most
ogre, gremlin, porch troll
looking thing you've ever seen in your life. One of your eyes starts getting smaller than the other one. You cockeyed. I mean, I have a little lazy eye, but you start turning cockeyed. All of a sudden, your face is lopsided, and you just never seen a bitch so ugly. That's how I started to feel about this video. Like, I kept watching it over and over, over and over, over and over. And sometimes it's like, you look at yourself and like, yeah, I understand the hype. I understand. That's a bad bitch. Or you're like, ugh, what the fuck? Why the fuck did I post this? And delete that shit and burn that shit right now. So, that same video that had that comment that I just told you guys about, I deleted that shit because I did not like it anymore. I was like, ew, that shit was ugly as fuck. So, I deleted it, right? So, I move on with my life. I don't know if this was a day later, but I went through my TikTok DMs, and I recognized the account, like the username and the picture from the same comment that I told you guys about. It wasn't a picture of like the girl. It was like a meme picture. Like, y'all know how people will have like a meme or a funny picture or just like a cool picture as their username. I mean, as their profile picture or whatever. It was that, and it was a very like funny looking picture, so I recognized it, and it had the same name. And I was like, whoa, is that the same person that commented on my thing? So I opened the DM, and it said something like, hey, I hope I didn't make you feel uncomfortable. I just want to let you know how beautiful you were. And yeah, but I just was trying to give you a compliment or whatever. And I was confused because it didn't click in my head that I had deleted that video like shortly after that comment was made, and I hearted it. But I was just like, what? Like, I was a little bit confused, so I had put question marks. And I didn't know like who this was or anything like that until I clicked it after the fact. But she was just like, I saw you deleted the video I commented on after you hearted my comment or whatever, and I just hope I didn't make you uncomfortable. I don't know if you're in a relationship or whatever. I was just like giving you a compliment basically. And I was like, oh, I was like, nah, I definitely appreciated the compliment. I didn't delete it because of you. I wasn't uncomfortable or anything like that. I just stopped liking the video. Like, it had no correlation to your comment, but I appreciate the compliment or whatever. So I clicked the TikTok account, and I saw that it was a stud. Mind you, some of you guys are gonna immediately clock my tea with that too, and y'all know I'm always one step ahead of y'all. I do not have interest in studs. When it comes to women, I like feminine women, or like I like femmes. I'm not really into studs or nothing like that. I'm not to say I've never seen a stud that was attractive. Like, y'all ever seen a stud and be like, that would be a bad bitch as a femme, please switch to being a femme because you look like you should be a femme type shit. So I saw her page, and I'm not gonna lie, she was cute. She was definitely cute, and she had like a little buzz cut or whatever. So we're gonna give her the name Peanut just because she had a little peanut head, and also
she was a nutcase.
So we're gonna call her Peanut. After I said that or whatever, she was just like, okay, like, I find you really attractive. I don't know if you're open to getting to know me, but I definitely just wanted to shoot my shot, basically. Something like that. I don't remember verbatim, but I immediately was kind of like, I was flattered for sure. But I wasn't, okay. At the time, like I said, I was single. And it wasn't that I necessarily was like, I'm not going to flirt with nobody or mess with nobody because I am in love with my ex. It wasn't even that. It was like, I'm not going to give somebody the impression that we're going to develop into something, or we're going to like get to know each other and end up dating or nothing like that, because I knew that I was very much still in love with him. I knew that I was just not emotionally available, and it very much showed. Like, I could not fake that at all. So I did have, I guess you could say, a roster of people that I was entertaining, flirting with and stuff like that, but they knew what was up. You know what I'm saying? And they had other people they were talking to too. There was an understanding there. But it's like, you know, somebody I'll get on the phone with, we might FaceTime or we might flirt, you know, we might tease each other through the text message and on the phone, but nothing really further than that. You might can get me out to go get some food with you or something like that, but we're not, this ain't that. You know what I'm saying? And the way that she texted me that, it just came off more like she was like trying to, you know what I'm saying, shoot her shot, like she said, in a way where she wanted to like mess with me for real. So I just wanted to make it clear that I wasn't looking for anything. You know what I'm saying? Because normally this day and age, this generation of, not even just men, this generation of people are very much, ooh, you fine shit. Ooh, that's some bad shit. You got a nigga in your DM on the left saying, you fine shit, ma. And then you got a bitch on the right in your DM saying, hashtag need that. Like, very just TikTok as fuck, very like just objectifying as fuck. Like, I don't know, people be putting basketballs in a bitch DM and be like, oh, my ball fell in your court. Like, bitch, grow the fuck up. We are getting way too old for that shit. So when I saw that, I was very flattered, but I was just like, oh, I think that you're very cute and I appreciate it, but I don't want to give you the wrong impression. I'm definitely not looking for anything right now. And she was just like, oh no, I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to scare you off or anything like that. I'm definitely okay with getting to know you as a friend, and, you know, just go with the flow. We can just talk or whatever if you need, you know, not if you need, but like if you down to talk, and like, you know, we can exchange numbers or whatever. I'm not looking for nothing serious either. So I'm like, okay, like what's the harm in that? She's cute. I don't really care. She knows that I'm not looking for nothing. She's saying she's not looking for nothing either. So you could be added to the roster of people that I speak to from time to time when I'm bored. Like, we can very much do that, right? So I give her my phone number and we get to talking. Now, I don't know how fluid my community is. I don't know if you guys like girls, but if you have any type of experience with talking to girls, even if you've never done nothing with a girl physically, even if you just texted or two, you know that sometimes when you're talking to a girl for the first time over text, talking, getting to know each other, it's very different from getting to know a nigga or talking to a nigga. Like, I feel like with it's like an understanding of friendship. I don't know how to explain it. It feels very comfortable. It feels very flowy. It feels very much like we're talking as friends, but we're flirting. You know what I'm saying? It's not the whole dragged out thing. It's not the whole like forced 21 questions ass vibe that a lot of men be, you know, doing when you're trying to get to know somebody. So we get to talking and we get to texting each other, and we're starting to text on a pretty regular basis. But when we're texting at first, it's pretty friendly. Like, it's not flirtatious yet or anything like that. She's just texting me. She was texting me more than I was texting her. Like, she was like texting me first most of the time, but we were texting each other and I was starting to enjoy talking to her. Peanut ends up telling me that, like, just a little bit about herself or whatever, and I end up learning that Peanut lives in another state. Now, I'm not gonna say what state she lives in just because I really don't feel like it. I'm gonna give y'all a random state though, because y'all know I live in Georgia. So let's just say that she lived in Texas. It wasn't like she lived in Cali across the damn country, but she definitely lived way too far for me to ever want to take anything like that seriously. Even if I was emotionally available, I feel like I need to see you in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? All that FaceTime, all that getting on the phone shit is cute. But if I want to get cuddled at night, if I want to go get cute and we need to go out dancing or whatever the fuck I want to do, I need to be able to do that when I want to do that. So it's just not for me. But yeah, she ends up telling me that she lives, let's say, in Texas. And I let her know where I live or whatever. We're getting to know each other. We're getting on the phone at this point damn near every day. We are flirting more and more, like the more that we talk. Like, she's very complimentary. We're getting on the phone, she's like, oh, you look so good, and I'm like, thanks, boo. Like, I am definitely flirting with her at this point. So I know there's always a in the comment that's like, well, you shouldn't have been entertaining it, you shouldn't have been flirting with her if you blah blah blah. It's not even about that, baby. We're gonna get to why the fuck this shit is fucked up. But she ended up telling me that she works doing Instacart, like Instacart and Uber Eats and stuff like that. I don't know if it's called Postmates or whatever, wherever she at, or if that's another app that she uses, but she did like delivery services and stuff like that, and that was her full-time job at the time. So she ends up asking me, like, do you care if I call you while I do like my Instacart and while I do like my deliveries or whatever, because it's boring and I just be wanting somebody to keep me company. And I was like, yeah, as long as I'm not busy, you know, if you call me and you're doing that, I'll answer, and if I'm free or whatever, like, that's cool. And she was like, okay, I just don't want to, you know, bother you. I don't know, some people don't just like to sit on the phone. And I was like, baby, you call me, and if I answer, I answer. If I don't, I don't. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I wasn't mean to her, but if you've ever been, like, if you've ever entertained people while being emotionally unavailable, you know what I mean by, like, I just didn't give her the energy that she gave me. And I didn't, like, it wasn't even on purpose. It just didn't come out of me. Like, I didn't have the energy to give her. Like, I feel like the type of response that I would have gave her if I was really interested to that would have been like, oh, of course you can call me whenever, like, you know. But I was just like, I mean, if I'm free, I'll answer it. If I'm not, I won't. Like, y'all, I really was dry as with this girl most of the time. Yes, I was flirting with her, and yes, we would get, like, she would be lit and I'll go out with my friends and I'll be lit and I'll be probably more flirtatious off of the lick, or, like, you know, we might even be talking a little, you know, spicy or whatever on the phone. But it's like 9 times out of 10, most of our conversation was really her flirting with me and just me giving her not much. You know what I'm saying? Giving her pretty much nothing. But I was flirting with her though. So I don't want to be completely, you know, tone deaf to the situation. I definitely was giving her the impression I was attracted to her and interested in some type of way. She starts checking in on me randomly. Like, it's not like I was giving her the impression that I was down. I never even told her that, you know, my situation with my ex or anything like that. We probably had a brief conversation about when was the last time we was in a relationship or whatever, because she was like, I know you said you weren't looking for something serious. Like, did you just come out of something serious? And I was like, yeah, not really like too recent, but I pretty recently came out of a relationship, very long relationship, years long relationship, and I'm really just not in a place to get to know somebody on that type of level. Like, I'm really just not interested in that. I'm not completely over my situation. So I very much vocalized to her that I pretty much am not over my ex. Let's just be real. And she started checking in on me ever since we had that conversation. I don't know if she felt like she was like a savior or some shit, or like, I don't know if she was trying to take advantage of my vulnerability of the fact that I opened up to her and told her that I wasn't over my situation. I don't know if she was trying to get me over my situation by trying to, I don't know, make me fall in love or some shit, but I don't know. That shit was not gonna work. That shit just was not gonna work. So she starts checking in on me, and you know, she's like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I'm like, oh, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm good, boo. How are you? Like, you know? And she's like, oh, I'm good. I just wanted to check in on you. You know, no reason. I'm just checking on you, right? And I'm just like clocking it. And the little things she's starting to do and the little ways she's starting to act is changing from what it was before. It was more lax. It was more like, you know, we were flirting and but we didn't talk all damn day. Like, we did talk every day, but we didn't talk all damn day and random check-ins and shit like that. And then she started to do shit like send me money. She started like, y'all, I know somebody's gonna be like, well, you didn't have to accept the money. Baby, who the fuck is gonna turn down some money for some food? Who the fuck is gonna turn down some money to get my nails done or whatever if she's going out her way to send it? Mind you, when she first ever sent me money, she was like, she had like sent the Apple Pay or whatever, and I was like, question mark, because that's my favorite thing, like question mark, like what is that for? And she was just like, oh, I just wanted to send you money. You can get something to eat with that. Like, you can do what you want to do with it. I'm just sending it just because I got done with my deliveries for today and I had a real good day and I just wanted to treat you. And I was like, baby, you don't have to do that. You know that, right? Like, hey, you don't have to do that. Like, please don't say, okay, send it back. But you don't got to do that though. Like, I was just making it clear to her she did not have to do that, just in case she felt like, you know, I mean, there's no way she could have felt like she had to, because I never asked her for shit. But I made it very clear, like, baby, I don't need that. Okay, I don't need it, but thank you,
but I don't need it.
And she was just like, nah, I just want to, like, I never do something expecting something in return, or if I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't, or if I needed it, I wouldn't send it to you type. And I was just like, oh, okay, period. This is when everything kind of took a turn for just weird. I'm not even gonna say for the worst because that's dramatic, but this is when stuff started to get kind of weird. This random day she ends up texting me, and I don't remember what it was that she said, but it could have just been like, get on the phone or something like that. Like, she was asking me, did I want to get on the phone? And y'all, this was a day that I was fighting for my motherfucking life. I was missing my ex. I'm pretty sure that like we had gotten into it because, again, I have already told you guys that me and my ex at the time, I'm gonna refer to him as ex for this video so it's not confusing, but me and my ex were not ever in a space where we were completely not talking. We probably went maybe a month or two without any contact at all, like no contact. But even within that, either I was reaching out and getting ignored, or he was reaching out and getting ignored. You know what I'm saying? We were definitely not getting along the best, and that shit would affect me, obviously. And I would get sad, and I would have days where I'm not really talking to my friends. I'm not going out with my friends or nothing like that because I'm just upset, and I wasn't texting nobody back. I was just missing in action that day, right? So she ends up texting me, and she's kind of like, you want to get on the phone or something like that? And I didn't respond. And then probably like an hour or two later, she's like, are you okay? And I don't know why this like pissed me off so bad, y'all, because there's been times where I didn't text her back for over an hour, like on a day where I was feeling good just because I was busy or whatever. So her like pressing me, she had to have like double texted me and then question marked it, and it just overstimulated me. I can accept and acknowledge the fact that I was definitely taking a little bit out of my situation and my like mood out on her because it wasn't that deep. But it just annoyed the fuck out of me that she was like spamming me basically about me not answering her. So she called me. I ended up answering, and I was just like, Peanut, I'm really not in a good mood. I really don't want to talk. Like, if I was down to get on the phone, I would have responded. Like, you see that I didn't respond, so why are you like calling me right now? And she was just like,
whoa, like, what's wrong with you? Why you got an attitude? I was just trying to see if you were good because you weren't answering.
And I was just like, yeah, I'm good. And she was like,
I can tell something's wrong with you. Just like talk to me, tell me what's up.
and I was like, well, I'm upset because since you want to know so bad, I'm upset because I miss my ex. I think I just said that and left it at that or whatever. I was like, I miss my ex and I'm just not in a good mood. I'm struggling today, basically, with my breakup situation. I've been thinking about it and I'm not in a good mood and I just don't feel like talking. And she was just like,
I don't know why you feel like you couldn't tell me that. Like, I told you we were friends first. Yes, I like you, but you know, you could always talk to me about things.
And then she started opening up to me about her ex-girlfriend. Now, y'all know that girls are notorious in the LGBTQ community, notorious for still having their ex in the picture some type of way. Their ex could be their freaking business partner, their best friend, their neighbor. They always got their ex in the picture some type of way.
Especially the studs.
So I'm like, just listening to her, she made the situation completely about her. She kind of like basically said to me, she basically just looked at me and was like, oh, you missing him, it'll get better. You'll get over that. Y'all, look at me now. I never got over that, boo. But she's like, you'll get over that. Sometimes I miss my ex, but she harasses me. And then she starts like completely tearing her ex to pieces verbally, like saying the most foul. I mean, I don't know if they were true, but she was just saying like,
I really like hate that girl, but I miss her sometimes and I hate that I miss her, but she was just such a foul person. She did me so dirty and she stole from me and her stink and she just such a low down ass. I wish she would die, but I be missing her sometimes.
So I'm just looking like, and y'all know when somebody really like talks that poorly about their ex, 9 times out of 10 they still got feelings for them because why are you going so hard? I can definitely say some stuff about my exes because they've done dirty stuff, but like to the extent of like,
I hate them so much, I wish they would die.
Like,
it's never that serious.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm over it. They living their life. I hope they good, but not too good, but I hope they good. You know what I'm saying? But she's just going on a rant and I'm just looking at her like, damn, like she must have really, you know, that must have really sucked. Like she really did you dirty for real. Like that's crazy. So we kind of like, she kind of betters my mood about the whole situation. She's just like, you know, if you ever are down about it again, or if you're ever just down about anything, like you don't have to avoid talking to me. You can talk to me about it, whatever. Like we could talk and I could try to my best to make you better or feel better. And I'm like, okay, cool. Y'all, this made me like her a little bit more. I never at any point in this story time, no matter how attracted I was to her or no matter how much I liked her, did I ever want to be with this bitch. And I knew that, but it's like she was getting a little brownie points and little cool points from me. Okay, I can say that. How I told you guys that she did deliveries, those are not the only kind of deliveries that she did. I don't want to say too much because this is YouTube, but let's just say that she had a lot of people that would pull up on her and come grab something from her, and she would run it outside and we would be on FaceTime when she would go outside. So like she would be like, oh, hold on, somebody's pulling up to grab something from me and I'm finna go, you know, run it out. And she would bring me with her. Y'all, I kid y'all not. And yes, I feel like I probably was like getting in my feelings a little bit and like starting to notice little things like this because I liked her. I'm not denying at all in this video that I liked her and that like, you know, I felt something for her, but it just wasn't as serious as I feel like she was trying to make it. But anyway, so she every single time, y'all, I promise y'all, every time without fail would run out there. And the only reason she would tell me hold on is just because she was letting me know she was going to be like talking to somebody or like doing something, right? So she would run outside and she would have me on the phone with her. And the only time I feel like she ever left me in the room, and y'all know we FBI agent ass, us tourists, we notice everything. Like if every time yo ass fart that shit smell like egg, the next time yo ass fart and it smell like asparagus, I'm gonna have a problem. Because why is it smelling like some different shit?
Like for real.
I notice every little change of every little thing. So this bitch, she ends up walking out, and yes, this bitch, because this is a bitch. This bitch ends up walking out there and she's like, hold on. Oh, like I said, the only time she ever left me in the room was when her phone was about to die, and she would plug her phone. I would hear the little thum, plugging your phone in, and then she would run out there, and she would not be out there more than 2-3 minutes. You know, when you going out there, like let's say let's say for the sake of this video, she's out there serving cupcakes out there. Somebody pulling up to get a cupcake. They want 1 cupcake, they want 2 cupcakes. She'll go and measure out the cupcakes, make sure they got enough cupcakes. But she never was out there giving out no motherfucking cupcakes for more than 5 minutes. So she's like, hold on, I'm gonna leave you in here, I'm about to go out there. And I was like, oh, okay, your phone finna die? And she was like, nah. And like her energy and her response to that was just so off. Like I could just tell, like it was just weird. Like she was like nah. Like her voice cracked and she was like, nah, just hold on. And then she ran out there, right? So I'm sitting on the phone, I'm still doing my thing. Like I probably was editing, I don't know what I was doing, but I'm waiting for her to get back, y'all, and minutes is passing by. And they're not a few, okay? It's 20 minutes past, 30 minutes past, this bitch is still not back. Her phone is not dead. I'm looking at her ceiling. My whole screen is this bitch fan spinning around. So I'm like, what is this girl doing? Like, I really hope, like, the first thing that I was thinking is I really hope that she didn't get robbed. Like, is she okay? Wellness check? Do I need to, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know where she lived at the time, but I'm like, damn, like, is she good? Like, why would you not bring your phone out there, boo? So she ends up coming back 30-45 minutes later, and she's like,
oh, my bad, like my client started tripping or whatever, and I just had to, like, you know, settle a situation where they had owed me or whatever.
And this bitch was sweating bullets. Like I could see the sweat glands on her face, and I could see the sweat dripping down this bitch face. But I thought maybe, like, you know, she got to tussling, or like maybe she had handled somebody. Like, I don't know, maybe she was nervous because she was arguing. Like, I don't know if she a pussy ass bitch or not. Like, I don't know why she's sweating, but I didn't think it was anything weird. Like, y'all already know I'm having deja vu right now, because this is not the first time where I've seen sweat on somebody's face and I'm trying to read the situation. And I guess, you know, my intuition as a woman has developed over time, but I was a woman. Let me not make excuses. My intuition was failing me in this moment, because I'm thinking, like, it's hot as where she live at, y'all. I'm not gonna say, like, let's just, again, it's Texas, right? It's Texas. It's hot out there. So I'm just like, I'm not thinking too much of it. So I'm just like, okay, damn, all right, well, are you good now? Like, or is everything situated? Are we back on the phone? And she was like, yeah, I'm good, or whatever. And that was that situation. We would get lit over the phone and stuff like that, and we would, you know, we would have fun times on the phone, let's just say that. But yeah, we would just be on the phone vibing and stuff like that. And this one night she got a little extra lit, and she ended up kind of telling me, like,
Chesa, I really like you. I know you told me that you're not emotionally available, whatever. I know that you're not over your situation and you got all this going on, but I just really vibe with you. Like, I really mess with your vibe. I don't even care how you feel. I just want to let you know that, like, I'm not talking to nobody else.
And she's just like,
are you talking to any other girls?
And this is where I feel like I kind of ain't shit, because I didn't tell her, like, no, I'm not talking to other girls, but I'm talking to other niggas. But like, I already told her that I didn't want nothing serious. I never told her that I wasn't talking to nobody else. I never told her nothing like that. But when she asked me, are you talking to any other girls? I was like, no, not right now. Like, you're the only girl that I talk to. She knew, by the way, that my ex was a man. She knew I was bi. And like, in the first few conversations where we would flirt or whatever, she would be like, oh, one of your hoes calling or whatever. And I would be like, I wouldn't say yeah, but like, there were times where I would be getting a phone call and she would be like, who's calling you? And I would just be like, oh, like, this boy is calling me or whatever. And I would like tell her I'll call her back and stuff like that. I never directly was telling her, like, oh, this is a boy I be flirting with. But like, I feel like, if we're adults, I told you I don't want nothing serious, and we established that already, then you're not going to think in your mind that you're the only person that I ever communicate with and flirt with. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but I never gave her that impression, and I never told her that. But I did feel like I blurred the lines when she asked me, are there any other girls you're talking to? And I said, no, I'm not talking to any other girls right now. You're the only girl that I talk to. And I wasn't trying to be facetious. I wasn't trying to be calculated or manipulative, or like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to be very careful with my response. I literally just was saying, like, nah, the only girl, I mean, the girl, no, I don't talk to no other girls. You the only girl I talk to. But I feel like she took that as like, you the only girl I talk to, boo. Like, forgetting that we're not both on the same part of the LGBTQ community. Like, you're the L and I'm the B, you know? But I didn't feel like elaborating, because again, I didn't even know how she took that. But I feel like her response, like her reaction to that, should have gave me every bit of information I knew, and I should have clarified. So this is me holding accountability about that right now. But when I said that, she was cheesing, y'all. This girl turned pink, like the you see how rosy my cheeks are right now? Hers were even rosier than this. And she was just like, okay. And she was like, I don't want to talk about it no more. And she changed the subject. I feel like she was being delusional, and like she kind of low-key felt like she wasn't clear about what I said, but she like got happy by what I said, and she didn't want there to be a different reality in that comment. So she was like happy and was like, okay, let's talk about something else, because she wanted to live in la la land of that being the case. So I really don't feel like it's fully my fault when it comes to that, but just keep in mind this conversation that we had. The next day rolls around or whatever. She ends up Instacarting. She ends up FaceTiming me. And I specifically remember I was driving. I don't know what I was doing, but I remember we were both busy doing something. And she had called me while she was doing her deliveries. And I could tell she was irate. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say she was irate. She was irritable. And she started getting irate. But she, like, she had called me, mind you. How the fuck you gonna have an attitude and call me? Like, maybe you called me to try to get you in better spirits, but like the way she was talking to me on the phone was just giving me an attitude right back. So I answered the phone or whatever. I'm like, hey. And she's like, hey. And I'm like, what you doing? And she was like, what does it look like I'm doing? And I'm like, excuse me? Like, who took a fat pee in your cereal this morning? Why are you talking to me like that? But okay. So I'm like, are you... like, baby, we both girls, so I'm not even trying to be funny. Are you on your cycle? Like, is that why you got this attitude? And she's like, no, I'm not on my cycle. I'm just like, I'm just annoyed. Like, I'm just irritated. I just been thinking. And I was like, what you been thinking about, boo? What you irritated about? What could you be irritated about on this beautiful, fine afternoon? And she's just like, Chesa, no, I'm for real. Like, I'm actually irritated. Like, I don't need you making little jokes or whatever, or trying to invalidate my feelings. And I, like, she literally said that, like, invalidating my feelings. And I was like, invalidating your feelings? I'm like, girl, I was not being serious, for real. Like, if you really are irritated, you can talk to me about it. But I was just asking, like, what could you be irritated about? Like, what's wrong? And she was like, I just feel like it's really weird how I'm constantly complimenting you and I'm constantly being sweet to you, and you don't really give me that same energy. Like, it was almost like as if, you know, you ever had a friend that you show love to, or like you were always hyping up and she never hyped you up, or you were giving her love, supporting her, and she wasn't giving love back to you or supporting you. Like, it felt like she was coming in at that angle, but not in a friendship type of way, in like a, you not feeling me like that type of way. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, girl, what are you talking about? And this kind of gave me an attitude, because it wasn't true, for one, but also it just was like, I don't like your energy. You know what I'm saying? I don't like how you getting on the phone with me trying to give me an attitude about this shit. Like, I don't like your approach, basically. But I'm just like, what is you talking about? And y'all, again, this wasn't true. She definitely complimented me more than I complimented her, but I complimented her a lot. Like, whenever she was looking good, this bitch would call me when she got a haircut, and I'll be like, ooh, like, you look good, boo. Like, she would send me pictures. I would hype her up. Like, we would send each other pictures of each other, selfies of each other all the time. Like, it wasn't like she was just constantly giving me compliments and I wasn't giving her compliments back. Like, that's just not what it was at all. So I was annoyed. And she's just like, ooh, like, you're not being receptive to me. Like, I'm trying to tell you how I feel and you're just shutting me down. And it kind of felt, y'all ever had a conversation with somebody that's heated or even sad or something, or on defense with you, and it feels like they're talking to you, but they're not, their feelings are not towards you? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's very, it's like a misdirected conversation. Does that make sense? Like, you're talking to me and you feel like I'm being this way, but you really just triggered, and you really just, it's reminding you of somebody that really made you feel that way. That's what it was giving me. And in the back of my head, I was thinking, like, maybe she's dealt with somebody that really was invalidating her, because the way she was speaking so passionately about it when I literally wasn't being that way was just confusing me, and it was throwing me off. But I was just trying to be receptive, like, for real, and hear her. But she was just like, Chesa, like, the way you be talking to me is like aggressive, and I don't mess with how you be talking to me aggressively, and I don't mess with how I just be like loving on you and flirting with you, and you just be acting like you don't fuck with me. Like, are you not attracted to me? And I was like, Peanut, I'm very much attracted to you. You're very cute. Like, you're very attractive. But like, where's all of this coming from? We were just good. Like, aggressive? I talked to you aggressive? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't understand what you saying right now. And I started getting mad. Like, you calling me aggressive? I'll show you aggressive. What the is you talking about? Like, this girl ends up crying on the phone. Like, she starts crying, and she's just like, honestly, Chesa, I have to hang up before I end up having a breakdown, and I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I just need to get off the phone with you because, like, you're being really, really aggressive. And I was baffled, y'all. This baffled me because I know that we are emotional beings. And I'm not going to say men aren't emotional. Men are like, might even be a little more emotional than us. But like just by nature, women are very emotional creatures. So just because she a stud don't mean that she's not emotional. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, something's going on here and I'm not understanding it. I've never been in this position before, because even when I've dealt with femmes and I've been in situations with femmes, I've never had somebody just outwardly tell me I'm being aggressive, invalidating, not receptive. Like, I'm not that type of person. Like, I'm a very understanding, very forgiving, very like open person. So I'm just looking at her like, baby, you're not even my bitch. Like, you're not even my girl. And I know I'm not acting like that. Like, I know that what you're saying is not true. I know I'm not being invalidating or none of that. Like, I get it. Sometimes people are not like aware of them being invalidating and stuff like that. But like, I literally said a few words to her, was asking her where she's coming from. And I told her, like, I reassured that it's not true. Told her I am attracted to you. Like, it wasn't like I was just like, girl, you're crazy. What are you talking about? I was just more so coming from like, where is this coming from? Because I don't feel like this is true. So I was disagreeing with her, but I was not invalidating her. I was like, I don't like that I made you feel like that, but like, I don't know where this is coming from. You know what I mean? And she starts crying, calling me aggressive, and then she hangs up in my face. Peanut ends up calling me like 10 minutes later. She's like, sorry, Chesa, I just got triggered. Like, I just don't like when people talk to me real aggressively and get real verbal with me, and I just didn't want to like escalate the situation, so I just hung up. And I was like, respectfully, Peanut, I understand you might have felt overwhelmed with the conversation, but I was not being disrespectful with you. I was not being verbal with you. I was not being aggressive with you verbally or anything like that. I was just trying to get an understanding of how you felt, and like, I was just letting you know that I don't feel like you're seeing it from what it really is. Like, sometimes y'all, like, I'm not invalidating your feelings, but I am invalidating your comment because it's invalid. Like, some of y'all gonna be like, see, you were invalidating. I wasn't invalidating her feelings though. She was trying to say I was shutting down her feelings. I wasn't. I'm just telling you that's not true, because it's not true. I definitely hype you up. I definitely compliment you. I definitely flirt with you. What you're saying is just not true. And like earlier, y'all are gonna quote me like, you said you didn't give her the same energy. I'm just talking about simple comments and stuff, like where she would be like, well, I knew that my energy wasn't what it would be if I was emotionally available, but she didn't know that because she never got that emotionally available side of me. So I'm just telling y'all that I was like dry in certain situations, but when we were flirting, I was flirting with her, you know? And when I like was complimenting her, I was complimenting her. We were flirting, we would be on the phone getting spicy and all of that. So I'm not saying that I never gave her that type of energy. I'm saying it just wasn't as much energy as I would have given her if I was available in that sense. Does that make sense? So she ends up kind of just like brushing it off and shutting like the conversation down. She's just like, okay, Chesa. And I'm like, do you want me to call you back later? Like, if I offended you, I apologize, but like, do you not feel like being on the phone no more? She was like, no, we can stay on the phone. So we end up staying on the phone, but it's like very hostile still. Like, she still got an attitude. She ends up changing the subject, and she's just like, well, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, right now I'm just going to like the beauty supply store and stuff. Like, I was just running errands, I'm pretty sure. Like, I think I was going to the beauty supply store for like some little makeup products that I needed and stuff to go out with my friends that night. So I just told her, I was like, oh, I'm just running errands, like I need to go to the beauty supply store and stuff like that. And she's just like, oh, like what are you doing later? Are you doing something later? And I was like, yeah, I might go out with my friends, like we might go to the club tonight. And her whole energy shifted. Like, she did not like that at all. She did not like that I said that we might be going to the club. And she ends up like kind of looking funny in the face, and she's just like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, like what are you doing later? Like, I ignored it because I didn't, like, we had just got into it a little bit and I didn't want to go into it some more, and I just was going to ignore her because I really didn't care. If you're on some jealous then whatever, like I don't care. So I was just like, yeah, what about you? What you got going on later? And she was just like, oh, I'm gonna hang out with somebody later. And I was like, oh, okay, period. I was like, who? Because we've told each other, like, you know, I would tell her, oh, my best friend's coming over, or I'm gonna hang out with my bestie, or like she would be like, oh, my homeboy's coming over, or even my homegirl. Like, she would tell me her friends are coming over or whatever, even if it was girls. Like, again, we're not together, but like, you know, like she would tell me what's going on. And I was just like, oh, who? Even if it was my regular ass friend on the phone, like my best friend on the phone, and she was like, she's finna do something with somebody later, I would be like, who? I'm a nosy ass bitch. So I was like, oh, who? And she was like, why? And I was like, I was like, what you mean, why? And she was like,
why does it matter to you? Like, why does it matter to you? Why are you concerned with who I'm gonna be around?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And I was just like, girl, what the, like, at this point, I was like, girl, I was like, I know that you're not having a good day, you know what I'm saying? Like, you and I got into it a little bit, and I tried to do my part so I could diffuse the situation and like give you some clarity on the situation, but like, you finna blow mine. Like, you really about to blow me. Like, you're blowing me. I'm blown. I'm blue. So I hung up on her goofy ass, because like, now you being funny. So I end up like later on going out, and this girl ends up cash apping me, or no, was it cash app? Because I think she had asked for my cash app by that point. Either she cash apped me or she Apple paid me like $60 ish, and I was just like, what's this for? And she was like, I had an attitude with you later. I'm sorry. I mean, I had an attitude with you earlier. I'm sorry for the attitude. I know you said you was going out, so you can either use this to go out, or you can just, you know, you can just have it. I'm just sending it to you just because. And I was like, okay. And she was like, I'm just gonna be hanging out with a friend today, tonight or whatever. Call me in the morning, and make sure you get home safe and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'll talk to you later. Thank you. And that was it for the rest of the night. I did not hear from her, not a peep. Usually she would be like texting me while I'm out, at least once or something, even if she's hanging with somebody, but she didn't text me at all. And again, we're not together, so like, even though I have feelings or whatever, I wasn't like expecting anything really. I would notice it, but I really wouldn't say too much about it. Like, the same way I peeped, she always brought the phone out there. Like, when she came in and gave me that explanation, even though she was sweating and seemed nervous, I didn't press the issue, because it's like, it's not my issue to press. But I am a human, and I do get jealous, and I am, you know what I'm saying, there's principles that sometimes I do not follow. So we're gonna get to when I start to get a little jealous and mad or whatever. But at this point, that was the rest of us talking for the rest of the night. She ends up calling me the next day. I end up picking up. She's in a way better mood. I can tell her spirits are just better. She's in better spirits, and she's just like, hey, like, how was last night? Did you have fun? And I was like, yeah, we went to so and so club and we had fun or whatever. I got back in around like this time, and I went to sleep. How was your night or whatever? What did you do? And she was like, oh, I was just with this girl tonight. Or she was like, I was just with this girl last night. And I was like, oh, okay, period. And she was just like, what, are you jealous? And I promise you guys, I wasn't jealous. Like, when she asked me that, I wasn't jealous. But when she asked, are you jealous? And I peeped she was trying to make me jealous, it kind of did make me jealous. Because like, are you cool? Why the fuck are you trying to make me jealous? Like, what do you mean, am I jealous? Like, this was always trying to argue with me. Like, baby, this is why I don't do serious relationships and stuff with females. Because, baby, like, do you need that? Like, because you really trying me at this point, and you forget that I can get up with you. I don't want to get up with you, which is why I tend to, like, you know, stay in my place or whatever, because I don't like putting my hands on people that I love. But I just feel like if I was really to get in a real relationship with a girl, and she was to try me up the way these hoes be trying me up, I would have to pap her shit. Like, I would have to pap her up, and I don't want to have to do that to somebody that I lay down with. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at this point, I was slowly starting to distance myself from her and talk to her less, because she was starting to trigger me, and it was very apparent to me that she was purposely trying to trigger me, and I didn't mess with that at all. So I was starting to like talk to her less, and I think that she was starting to peep that, which is why she started to get more and more irate. But she starts, a couple days later, she ends up texting me, and we end up having like a casual little conversation. And then she ends up calling me, and she starts asking me for details of my situation with my ex. She starts to ask me questions she's never asked me before. She's like,
when was the last time you saw your ex? Like, when was the last time you talked to your ex? Have you been talking to him? Because low-key, if you have, you need to stand up.
and she's coming from a very like accusatory and also judgmental ass place, and it was just random, as because what we were talking about on the phone had nothing to do with that. And I get it, we said we would talk about it, we opened up about exes and stuff like that, but it's like, you're just randomly bombarding me with questions about him, asking me if I've spoken to him. And that little comment, oh, because if you have, you need to stand up, just like, are you even stood? Like, have you spoken to your ex? Why are you so pressed about my ex? It's giving you're projecting. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, why are you asking me when was the last time I seen my ex? Like, when was the last time you seen yours?
Boo.
I feel like this was her way of like being guilty for lying to me about something, but she ends up being like, well, I did recently see my ex, so I don't know why you can't just tell me the truth. And she's like, remember that day that I ran out there and I was out there for like 20-30 minutes? It's because my ex was the one that was like shopping from me, and when I went out there, she was trying to convince me to let her come inside, and I didn't want her to come inside because I was just trying to, you know, let her shop. But I wasn't really trying to talk because we're not in a place where we talk and stuff like that. But like, she was always shopping for me, so she didn't want to shop for someone else. So I was just trying to get her to leave, and we were arguing and stuff like that. So I was just like, well, why did you lie? And that pissed me off, not just because I was a little jealous that she was talking to her ex, but it was just like, why did you lie to me about why you were out there so long? Why did you lie and like not tell me that it was your ex that was like, you were running out there too? Like, the whole situation just pissed me off, because I wouldn't have sat on the phone 20-30 minutes while you're out there talking to your ex-girlfriend. Like, it just wasn't that. Like, you know, like, yeah, when you talking to other, like, multiple people and like everybody knows you're not dating them, or like some people just be talking to multiple people and don't be letting people know their intentions. But like, even if the intentions are understood, and I know you talking to other people and I'm talking to other people, we're not openly just talking about the people that we're talking to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what you're doing so long as I don't have to hear about it or know about it. Like, what I don't know won't hurt me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, she never told me she was talking to her ex still or nothing like that. And the only reason I didn't tell her I was talking to my ex is because when we were talking, it wasn't like we were being lovey-dovey. Like, we were talking about our situation, or we were arguing and things like that. Like, it wasn't even none of her business, for real, boo. And the difference is, in this whole situation, is that me talking to my ex did not affect her. I didn't lie to her about it. It didn't affect our situation. And y'all are gonna really see at the end how this whole situation was just, she was at fault for her lying and her fucking lack of communication. We got into it about it. I was just like, why the fuck are you lying about when you last saw your ex? You're still serving your ex, and you over here talking about if I seen my ex, or if I've been talking to my ex, I need to stand up. Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you know you seen yours, and you know you be still dealing with your ex some type of way, but you have the nerve to try to say some judgmental like that to me? Like, ho, is you cool? Like, ho, is you Elsa? Like, please, did you follow la la la? Like, for real. We go back and forth about it, and we end up not talking for a couple days. And lo and behold, just like Peanut does, she ends up sending me this long ass apology paragraph. And I don't think she sent money this time, but she ended up sending me this paragraph, and she was just like,
I'm sorry, I really shouldn't have lied to you, and I really shouldn't have gone back and forth with you like that. I just really, like, am triggered by my whole situation with my ex. Like, she really just been harassing me. She texted me from all these fake numbers, and I feel like if I don't serve her, she'll harass me more. But I really don't have nothing going on with her, and I really do. Everything I said about her was the truth. Everything I said in regards to me not talking to her any other time is the truth. We were arguing out there and all that, and I'm sorry. I won't lie to you any further about stuff. Like, I just feel bad, and I'm sorry.
And I was just like, I get it. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Like, if you are talking to her, you can tell me that. If you know what I'm saying? I just don't want you lying to me about I don't like that. It triggers me. I've dealt with liars. I don't like that lying. Stuff triggers you, and you telling me you've dealt with this and you've dealt with that, and you not healed from this and you not healed from that. Well, I'm not healed from lying. Stop fucking lying to me, like, for real. And we kind of let it be water under the bridge. Like, we kind of leave it alone. After she explains all this to me, like, I'm kind of over it. I'm not really mad at her no more, because I do understand how it is to, like, just have a scorned situation with an ex. And, like, I just was kind of feeling for her, because even though, yeah, you cute and I'm feeling you a little bit, this still is my friend. And, like, y'all know I'm 10 toes behind my friends. So I just kind of felt like, damn, she harassing you to that extent. Like, she really be having you this up in the head. So it gets to a point where I ended up asking her, like, do you want me to say something to this girl? Like, do you want me to say something to her? And she was just like, no, I don't want you to say nothing, because she's just gonna be crazy and harass you too, but I just wanted to tell you. And then she ends up sending me her Instagram. This is where she picks up at. She ends up sending me her Instagram, and I was just like, well, if you don't want me to say nothing, why are you sending me the Instagram? Like, she sent me her Instagram account, and this is after she already said she doesn't want me to say anything to her. So I was like, well, if you don't want me to say anything, why are you sending me her Instagram? And she was just like, oh, well, I just wanted you to see, like, just to have a name to a face, or, like, you know, just so you can know who I'm talking about or whatever. This is her. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, that girl was tea. She was a bad bitch, for real. And I feel like she knew that I was gonna feel that she was a bad bitch, and she low-key wanted to make me jealous, because, like I said, she kept, like, going out of her way at these attempts to make me jealous, and she was failing miserably. I mean, she wasn't failing, but, like, I never let her know that. So I feel like since she felt like she didn't successfully make me jealous, she wanted to, like, you know, hit me with, oh, this is my ex bitch, this is a bitch. I mean, she wasn't better than me. Like, she wasn't on me. Like, she was that girl, but she wasn't, like, you know, that thing. You know what I mean? So I wasn't really tripping like that much, but she definitely was cute. But I was just like, oh, so you just sent that to me for no reason? Like, okay, I know what you're doing. But when she said that she just wanted to give me, like, you know, face to a name or name to a face, I was just like, okay, girl.
Okay.
Probably like a day later, she ends up texting me and she ends up asking me for my address, because she's like, I want to send you something. Like, I know I'd be sending you money to get you food and stuff like that, but there's something like specific that I want to send to you. So if you're comfortable, can you send me your addy? And the only reason I was comfortable sending her my address, y'all, was because I knew I was moving soon. Like, I wasn't going to be staying at this apartment that long. I was living with my Nana there at one point. Like, my Nana had ended up moving there with me, and we were living together, and we were in the process of moving out. And also, I lived in a gated like complex. Like, I lived in a gated community, so I knew that if she was getting something delivered to me, then, you know, the mail people and the delivery people, they have like a code where they can get through the gate, or if you're a personal visitor, then you have to call in and stuff like that. It was very safe, so I didn't feel no type of way, on top of the fact that she lived in another state. If she lived in Georgia, I probably wouldn't have given her my address. I sent her my addy or whatever, and I was just like, what are you sending me? And she was like, oh, you're gonna see it, just let me know when you get what I sent you or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. After I sent her my addy, y'all, I haven't heard from her for like a whole 24 hours, which wasn't really like her. She was the one that was like, you know, mostly talking and mostly trying to, you know, have conversation and stuff. And since she said she was sending me something, it was kind of confusing to me how she kind of went ghost after she asked for my address, right? I'm not saying nothing about what she said that she's gonna send me, because I mean, she's the one who said she's sending me something. I didn't ask for nothing, so I wasn't really even thinking about it like that. But now that I look back, it was kind of weird. Like, it should have been more weird to me at the time that she didn't really say nothing about it for the next like day. But next day rolls around or whatever, she ends, or like 2 days later, she ends up texting me, and we end up having a conversation, and it's getting to the point where she's starting to talk very like toxically. Like, is that a word? She starts being very toxic. It starts becoming like painfully obvious that she's trying to make me jealous. She's saying like, oh, that she had hooked up with this girl, or she was hanging with this girl, she's been kicking it with this girl. And I felt like she was either, again, just trying to make me jealous on some toxic shit, or she was trying to like escalate the situation to see if I did have feelings for her, or like to see if I was gonna end up cracking and being like, you know what, okay, like, don't mess with nobody else and I want to be with you. Like, I don't know what the she was doing that for, because it was just very strange and off-putting to me. Because again, even in situations where I've been talking to people and they knew I was talking to other people, not just them, and I knew they were talking to other people, I have never in a million years had a man or a woman tell me like, oh yeah, I just hooked up with this. Like, what the fuck? Why are we talking about that? Baby, I don't give a fuck. Even if we were in an open relationship, why are you telling me the details of what you're doing with another person? Like, I don't understand what you're saying that to me for. So I was just like fed up with this at this point. I knew it wasn't going nowhere. I was still missing my ex, and at this point it was just getting to a point where it was like, it just gets to a point, you know? So I ended up texting her this message, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like either we need to cut all of this flirting out and like really operate as friends the way that we said we were gonna do in the beginning, or we just need to like dead everything, because I don't really like the way that it's going and the way that our conversations are and the way that you be trying to like say to me to get a reaction, and like I just don't with it. And this girl ends up getting mad as y'all. Like, I feel like that's why I feel like she was trying to change the dynamic of what we were, and like in hopes that I would like want to be with her, or like change what I originally told her. Because once I told her like, baby, we need to clip this now, and we need to like, you know, once she felt friend zoned, she like, it was up. Baby lost it. This bitch lost her mind at this point. She's like, you are so like, you y'all, this girl started like verbally harassing me. She's literally like,
you are such a and you're so entitled, and you're just like a every social media ass. Like, you feel like you better than somebody because you got a social media following, and you just feel like anybody, like you can just have whatever you want, and you can just do whatever you want, and I just hate just like you, and you're just a user
and stuff like that. And I'm like blinking, like slow blinking at this shit, like looking at my phone, like lost for words, because I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, I kind of felt like she might not be happy with me saying what I said, but there was not an inch of me that felt like she was gonna respond like that. It took me for a loop. So she's just saying all of this, and I'm like, girl, what the? She's like,
you're materialistic, you're just such a narcissist.
Like, she's hitting me with all of the TikTok words. Like, she's like,
you're such a gaslighter, invalidating, you're a narcissist, you're just, oh, like, I just hate how you treat me, and you're never receptive to what I'm saying to you, and you're just using me.
And I'm like,
oh, are you okay?
what sticks out to me the most though, y'all, is how she said I'm a user. Cause I was like, what did I use you for? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did I use you for? So I'm like, materialistic user, narcissist. Are you serious? Like, girl, what the are you talking about? Like, what you not about to do is try to, you know, make me some type of villain just because I'm telling you that we need to set boundaries, because the boundaries that I tried to set in the beginning were, you know, crossed, or like, you know, even if it was me that allowed the boundaries I set to not even really be in place for real, like now I feel like we need to set boundaries or not talk, because it's not working out the way that we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So she's just like,
I sent you money and all of that, and this is how you act. I sent you money and I compliment you and I treat you so well, and like it's just never enough for you.
and I'm just like, girl, what the are you talking about? Because I told you didn't have to send me no money. I can send you all of this back if you want it, because you're not about to sit here and act like you just broke the bank for me and I, you know, did you some type of dirty. Baby, I was never your bitch and you were sending me money. That's a skill issue. Like, why are you sending a bitch money that's not your bitch? Let's start there. Why are you sending me money and I'm not even your girl? Like, skill issue, baby. Get that together. But that's neither here nor there. So I'm like, what? So I'm like, what did I use you for? What the are you talking about? I can send you all this money back right now if you need it. Like, I do not even need that over here. Like, she's like, I'm over here Instacarting and I'm over here busting my ass, and you got social media money and I'm over here doing Instacart and sending you my delivery money at the end of my deliveries. And I'm like, I never asked you to do that. I never asked you to do that though. What are you talking about? And then you also act like you a plug, so you also got other money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you told me that you're well off. You got an apartment off of your Instacarting. So what are you talking about, boo? And I never asked you for money. Never asked you to pay for my nails. Never asked you to give me money for food. You went out of your way to do that for me and said it was as a friend, and said that you wanted to because you just wanted to, and to accept it. Please. You even said, please, accept it, please. So what the fuck are you talking about? She's probably sent me money all of like 4 times, but I sent her like probably like $80 or whatever. And I was like, I don't need your money, bitch. Like, what the are you talking about? So after that, she's like, you know, going off, and she's like,
I hate you. That's why my ex, I had you sitting on the phone while I was in the car fucking my ex.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
and I was like, oh, gagged me there. You kind of ate that little one thing, because what are you talking about? What do you mean? And she's like,
when I went out there and I told you we was arguing, but we ended up in the car and I ended up eating her pussy, and you know what I'm saying, we ended up getting nasty, and you was sitting in my room waiting and I was fucking that bitch, and you're out bad.
and I'm like, that shit made me mad. Nah, I'm not gonna lie, that shit made me mad. But I was just like, at this point I'm gagged, y'all. Like, my face probably looked flushed, like, for real. I was just like, no way this bitch had me on the phone. Because it was just more so of like 20 minutes of my valuable time, 30 minutes of my valuable time, I was waiting on her while she was getting it dirty, getting down and dirty with her ex in the car. That's crazy. So she's like, yeah, me and her never stopped with each other. When I be telling you that I'm hanging out with other girls and stuff like that, it's her. Like, that's my and I really just use you to make her jealous, and you ain't nobody, and yeah, you pretty, but you not all that. Like, I really just tried to with you because my ex doesn't like when I talk to like Latina looking bitches, and my ex, I just knew you was gonna make her jealous, and you're Afro Latina, and I just knew that with you was gonna make her jealous, and I would never with no that's in another state as me, and all of this stuff, right? Whole time, again, I'm not under the impression we with each other, boo. Yes, you gagged me there and you made me mad and jealous finally by telling me you was your ex, because boo, I don't want to picture that, and I don't want to feel like I was sitting on the phone waiting for you to come back and talk to me while you're doing some nasty with your ex. Like, I ain't never disrespect her like that. But yeah, so she says all of this, right? And y'all would think that's the icing on the cake. Like, you thought that that's how bad, like, you thought that that's the worst that happened? You thought that's all that there was? No, baby. Of course, it wouldn't be a Chesa story time without me being over even more. So I end up blocking her, right? I blocked her off of everything, including TikTok. She ends up being the ex that she was talking about, and starts blowing me up on text now. She's sending me all type of messages, calling me all type of and hoes. She's commenting on my TikTok to the point where I have to filter my comments and all of that, right? I moved on. I blocked her. She was still messaging me and stuff like that, but probably like a month later, at this point, I'm like 3 weeks away from moving out of my apartment and me and my Nana moving out. Mind you, we had a Ring camera, and we really only had a Ring camera so that we would see when something was delivered, like if one of us was expecting a package or whatever, or our lazy asses could like talk to someone through the door or whatever, so we wouldn't have to get our lazy asses up. But it wasn't really like every time we got a Ring notification we would check it or nothing like that, so keep that in mind. I'm chilling in my room. I could have been on the phone with a nigga. Like, I could have been on the phone with somebody else. I had moved on from the situation. I was very much bothered, but I wasn't like hurt. It didn't sting anything. Like, if anything, I was hurt still about my ex, you know what I'm saying? But I was just doing my own thing. I was chilling at home, and I ended up getting a knock at the front door. Like, I heard a little faint knock or whatever, and I got a Ring notification. But I was busy. Like, I again was either on the phone with somebody, or I was like editing something, or like I was doing something that had my attention, so I didn't check it. And I also was not expecting nothing. I wasn't expecting DoorDash. It was like 7 o'clock, and I think it was summertime, so it was like bright outside still, and my Nana was home. And when I'm like, when somebody comes to the door, or you know what I'm saying, something gets delivered, even if it is for me and I'm not answering the door and my Nana's home, she'll do it, or like vice versa. So I ignore it or whatever. So I'm still just like doing me or whatever, and I get a call from my Nana, and like she calls my phone from her room, and she's like, hey, I just went to the door and there's like a young boy and a young girl there, and I'm pretty sure it's for you because it's not for me. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I didn't know who it could, like, I don't know, maybe I'm over here thinking like, is Jehovah's Witness at the door or something? Because like, I'm not expecting nobody either. I ended up going to the Ring camera and looking on the camera, on the live footage, y'all. And it's the bitch from the Instagram that she sent me. It's like her ex-girlfriend, or whoever she said was her ex-girlfriend, from the Instagram page that she sent me.
Oh, hi. Wait a minute. Who are you?
So I'm like, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone right now. I don't know if I'm having a fever dream, because y'all live in Texas. Why the is this hoe at my front door in Atlanta, Georgia? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, am I tripping? Like, maybe I'm seeing shit. Like, I don't know. I end up like rushing to the door, and I look through the peephole, y'all. I'm like looking through the peephole like this. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, and it's her. It's her. It's her. It's most definitely her, and some like young skinny looking boy I'd never seen a day in my life. So I open the door, and I immediately go outside and like shut the door behind me, because one thing about it, y'all, I might get down and we can really, like, you know what I'm saying, we can run it, and I might come at you in a straight line from the shoulders, but I'm not doing that in front of my abuelita, okay? I'm not doing that in front of my Nana. You know, my Nana, one thing about my Nana, y'all, she definitely is a feisty character, and she definitely, you know what I'm saying, she had her days where she was pulling out and you know what I'm saying, she was getting down and dirty in Venezuela, but she's a very demure older lady now, and she don't get down like that, and she don't be playing, you know what I'm saying, she don't play that. So I just didn't want to raise my damn grandmother's blood pressure, let's be real. Like, what is going on here? And I didn't know what was gonna happen, so I went outside, and I'm like, what are you doing here? Like what is going on here? I don't even know if I was like, who are you, and like played it like I didn't know who she was, but I was just like, what the is going on here? And she's just like,
Hey, I just wanted to say I'm Peanut's ex.
and I cut her off, and I was like, I know who you are. I was like, I know who you are. I don't know who you are. And he's like, oh, I'm her brother. And I was like, I don't care. I don't know what this is. I don't know what kind of sitcom my life has to be. I don't know what you think is going on. Like, I don't know what are you doing at my door? And I'm like I'm talking just like that, but I'm not yelling, because I lived in a very nice apartment complex, and I probably had Sally. My neighbor was probably Karen, so I didn't want to like cause a ruckus or nothing like that, but I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? And she's just like, I just wanted to come, like, and I was like, did you fly here to confront me? Like, did you think that you, like, what do you think this is? And I'm like, off bat, y'all know like what I've experienced, so I'm thinking this thinks she finna come and fight me or something. Like, I don't know what this is. So I'm like, did you fly here to get your ass beat? Like, you flew here, you gonna get sent home in multiple pieces, boo. Like, you want me to whoop your ass all the way back to Texas? You better hop on Spirit before I make you one, for real. So I'm like, what are you doing here? So she's just like,
No, I already had like a family. I have family out here in Atlanta, and I was already started coming out here. Peanut told me what you did to her, and I already was coming out here, so I asked her for your address, and she gave it to me, and I just wanted to come out here and talk to you and just get clarity, because Peanut's really not a bad person.
And I was like, did to her? And y'all, I feel like if she didn't say that, and she was talking with an attitude, like, I don't, like, she was just like, she told me what you did to her, and I just wanted to come, like, almost on some checking me, on some, like, defending your girl. Like, you just, like, who in their right mind pulls up to a stranger's house in another state? Like, you're crazy, and I know you're crazy, like, but you're not crazier than me. I know that much. So I'm like, girl, I'm like, I didn't do to Peanut respectfully, and I'm gonna need you to leave. Like, it's giving like, baby, I didn't do nothing to her, but I'm about to do something to you, so you might want to get the fuck up off my fucking lawn before I do it to your ass. Like, for real, I'm about to treat you for real. So I'm like, respectfully, I need you to leave. This is where I live. I didn't do nothing to her. I don't know why you thought it was appropriate to come here. I don't even know you. I don't even know her like that. Let's be real. We never dated. We never did for real. We just would flirt and talk from time to time. I don't know what y'all got going on, but you need to go figure that out with her. You said you out here for family. Go to your mammy house. Go to your pappy, because you're not about to be here. We're not about to do this. This is not Love and Hip Hop. We're not about to sit down over some wine and talk this shit out. Like, I don't got nothing to do with you. I don't got nothing to do with her. I blocked her. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get that bitch off my dick. How about that? Get your bitch off my dick, because your bitch is still texting my phone. How about that? What you talking about? What I did to her? Bitch, I didn't do shit to her. I guess at this point I am yelling, and my Nana ends up coming to the door, and she opens the door, and she's just like, what's going on or whatever. And I'm like, Nana, it's all good. You can go back inside. Like, it's all good. They're about to leave. And I don't know if it was like, if I gave her like a mother look. Y'all know that look when your mama's like, she's like, you know that look. I don't know if her life flashed before her eyes or what when I looked at her. I don't know what my facial expression was, but like, after I told my Nana to go back inside, I had looked at her and I was just like, bitch, y'all need to go. For real, y'all need to go. Like, I'm doing that lifting, you know, when your mama like starts snarling and shit. That shook her. I don't know. Maybe she just figured there was nothing gonna come out of that conversation but a ass whooping or something. I don't know what the fuck she thought. But her and her little brother, or I don't know if that was her little brother, her big brother, or what, but she ends up like grabbing him and she's like, let's go or whatever, and they walk. And y'all, I ended up walking out there and like watching them leave or whatever, just to make sure, because I don't know these people. You never know. I don't know who y'all are, where y'all come from. I don't know y'all from a hole in the wall. I don't know y'all from a can of paint. So I'm like watching them walk, and y'all, this didn't even drive through the gate. Like, I was thinking maybe like she waited till someone got through the gate and then drove through it, like, you know, like real ghetto shit. But she didn't even drive through the gate. She literally was walking, like she walked on the side of the gate. Y'all know y'all can get past the gate or hop a gate or whatever. She ended up walking past the gate all the way to my apartment, which the walk from the gate to my apartment is probably 5 minutes. The walk from the gate to the leasing office was probably like 5 minutes. So it's a 10-minute walk just from the leasing office to my apartment. And she didn't even like walk. It's not like she parked at the leasing office and then walked. She like, I don't know where the bitch was parked. I don't know if she Ubered there. I don't know if she parked at a gas station up the road. She probably had walked a full 15 minutes to my house. Cause like she walked out of the whole complex. Her and her brother walked out of the whole complex, and then until I couldn't see them walking no more. So it's like, baby, you did all that walking all the way over here just to not get nothing from me, for real. Like, what type of conversation do you think I owed you? And what did you think walking up on a stranger just because your was texting somebody in another state, you felt like because you was going to that state, you felt like you should pull up? Are you stupid? And so I ended up texting, what's her name? I ended up texting Peanut back from one of her little fake numbers that she texted me from, and I was like, you're a weird bitch. I don't know why you sent your to my house. You're crazy. If that's what you asked for my address for, you could have just like, you could have kept that. Like, that was, I don't know, like, I really could have whooped her ass all the way back to you, and I didn't. But I sent her ass walking. Now you got your bitch walking on the street like a fucking hitchhiker, looking goofy as fuck. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're a weird bitch, and I should have let you in my TikTok comments. You're a weirdo. After that, she never responded. I don't know. Maybe I might have hurt her feelings because, like, I said a lot of stuff, y'all. But, baby, well, I don't know what the fuck she thought was appropriate about that. Because that's crazy. That's a new one. That's crazy. That's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Comment other videos that you guys want to see from me. Turn on the post notification bell so you never miss when I post a video. Follow me on all my social medias that are in the link tree in the description box below. I love you guys so much. I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
ChesaTheBrat.